Hello everyone. Right away I want to thank you for coming back to my channel for another video. Today we are once again talking about a book that is near and dear to my heart, and that's Mastery by Robert Greene. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is one of those books that has changed my life for the better, so hopefully I can convince you of its value, because I really believe that this is a book that can change your life and open doors for you, and I hope to be able to communicate that to you throughout the video. Right away, I will ask the question that I know the algorithm is dying for me to get to, which is, why do I think this video is worth your time? Here's why. I want to help you actualize your full potential. I want to help you achieve your goals, and I've designed this video to that end. I think Mastery by Robert Greene can help us conceptualize the process of improvement that lies ahead of anyone who's interested in mastering a craft, whether that's a trade or a medical job or a creative task, whatever it may be. It's the fundamental process of improvement that's most worth understanding, in my opinion, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the duration of today's video, because again, I want you to crush it, whatever it means to you. And before we go further, I'll say two things very quickly. The first, this video is taken from a lecture I gave during the fall of 2020 for a class I'm teaching at Johns Hopkins University titled Meanings to Being, Using Reading and Writing as Tools to Author the Self. The second point is, if you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful or useful or interesting, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to talk to some of you about it, and also smash that like button. It really helps me out. But okay, without further ado, I will get into it now. Mastery by Robert Greene, one of the most important nonfiction books on my shelf. So the first step to the process of mastery that Robert Greene describes is called Discover Your Calling, the Life's Task. It's more or less strategies to help you identify the iteration of the mastery process that might best suit you. And he suggests that there are 5 strategies for finding our life's task. The first is return to your origins, the primal inclination strategy. The second is occupy the perfect niche, the Darwinian strategy. The third is avoid the false path, the rebellion strategy. The fourth is let go of the past, the adaptation strategy. And the fifth and final is find your way back, the life or death strategy. So keep in mind that every one of these strategies draws on examples from several so-called masters. Between these 5 strategies alone, Robert Greene references dozens of some of the greatest thinkers and artists in human history. And in that way, I think this book is so important because it gives you a wide variety of people who were incredibly good at what they did. But I'll start to zoom in on the specific strategies and talk a little bit about them. So the first strategy is called Return to Your Origins, the Primal Inclination strategy. The point Greene centers his argument around is the idea that whatever trade or craft or skill we're most likely to be able to master, it oftentimes presents itself to us with remarkable clarity during childhood. He asks us to reflect back on our childhood and try remembering what sorts of subjects or tasks we were most interested in. And he asks us to think creatively about what it was that we were interested in as kids. And when I say creatively, I mean, try to take like the core skill from, what it was that you were interested in childhood, and like abstract it out and apply it to a profession or an industry that could potentially foster the love you had during childhood. Then there's the second strategy, which Robert Greene calls occupy the perfect niche, the Darwinian strategy. So consider what you're best at, or at least, better than many people in one particular field at. When you consider what your life's passion, what your calling, your life's task could possibly be, or what, you might be meant to do, start with the idea that the field you probably want to occupy, whatever your passion is going to be in, it's in a field that you have the potential to dominate in. It's something that you're good at already. When you think about how you might perform some iteration of the skill, you come out maybe not always on top, but in an upper percentile, let's say, which is, I guess it's kind of an extreme way of thinking about it, but I think the point stands nevertheless. So consider what you're already good at right now, then try to extrapolate from that event or idea something that could be considered a valuable skill. And again, this is something you should think creatively about. It's the kind of thing that you're gonna have to, think abstractly about and apply it to, something tangible. The third strategy is avoid the false path, the rebellion strategy. Greene identifies a false path in life as being something that we're generally attracted to for the wrong reasons, for pleasure or for fame or money or attention or whatever. Robert Greene says that if we're doing something for any other reason than its correspondence with our deepest inclinations, we're unlikely to find the sort of fulfillment from it that we need. And what I like about this strategy is that it's something anyone can do. Even if you can't identify your greatest passion in life, if you can identify a false path, which is again something you're interested in for the wrong reasons, I think you're making a pretty significant improvement. It's all about trying to make small changes that will lead to a large result. So, these strategies aren't necessarily fix-alls. It's just some helping hand that's going to put you in a better position to discover what it is you might be able to do best. The fourth strategy is let go of the past, the adaptation strategy. And this strategy is useful in a way that's similar to the third strategy. The adaptation strategy is all about not abandoning your past shortcomings. It tells us to embrace the times in our past when we had high hopes and came up short. And I know that that's easier said than done, but I hope you'll stick with me and give me the benefit of the doubt. Just, consider past experiences and, like the strategy suggests, adapt. Try to learn from your shortcomings in the past. Let go of the past. Find ways to incorporate what you've learned into a new and improved system. Don't give up hammering away at what you care about. The fifth and final strategy is find your way back, the life or death strategy. I know this one sounds a little over the top, but I think it's still worth considering. It's the idea of listening to your inner voice no matter what. And maybe that sounds a little bit silly or simple, but I really don't think it's either. I think that once you try to apply the idea of listening to your inner voice as a governing philosophy, that it becomes much more complicated and difficult than you could have previously anticipated, let's say. And I think it's a serious point to make. I don't mean it lightly. I genuinely believe that if we listen to our inner voice, to our soul or our conscience or intuition or whatever word you want to use, that good things will come to us, that the right path will reveal itself to us. And it's kind of an act of faith that allows that to happen. So allow your intuition to guide you and trust that in the long run, this mode of operating can deliver you to a better place if you remain truthful and honest in how you carry yourself. And I know that that's easier said than done, but I hope you can take my word for it. And I think, the last two that I mentioned, being truthful and being honest, are the most crucially important things when considering how abiding by the laws of this strategy can translate to something positive. So again, obviously, yes, this strategy requires a bit of faith, and I would never guarantee positive results. The only point that I'm trying to make is that there are worse modes of being if you're hoping to identify what it is that you're passionate enough about to build your life around than deciding you're going to listen to the voice of your soul. I mean, honestly, it's one of the oldest philosophical ideas in the Western canon. So, I ask that you kind of, maybe if you're a little skeptical about it at first, just try to, just stick with the idea, because I do think it can offer rewards to you in the long run. Okay, that's everything I've got. Before I go, I want to thank you, my wonderful viewer, for sticking with me to the end. I also want to thank my video editors, Bach and Joe. I couldn't do this without you guys. I appreciate you. And again, I'll thank you one more time, my lovely viewer. If you found this video interesting or useful or helpful, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Okay, thanks again, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.